Now I'm live. Good Lord. Viva technology. A lot of people ask me, things like, what do you do in your downtime, Brennan? Well, I don't have much downtime. And you know what I do? I sit around and I play a little guitar. Used to be drums. Used to play a lot of drums, but then one day, my feet didn't work so well. Hey, you. Hey, Trish, what's going on? It's just us cats around. Hope you can hear me okay. And what I end up doing a lot of times, I don't even know why I have this plugged in because I couldn't get that interface to work. Technical failures everywhere today. But I'm not a failure. At least that's not what the Bible tells me. Good, I'm glad. I had to pull out the old microphone here because my interface didn't work, and then I realized my battery died in your guitar, in my guitar, your guitar, our guitar. Little known fact, you need a battery for your acoustic. At least if you're going to go out electric. No lyrics like that, kiddo. Yeah, I thought I was setting up to do some shuffle up and deal, and I owe you guys one. Yeah, I'll squeeze one in. I had some things kind of change at the last minute this week. A lot of things changed at the last minute, like holy Uranus getting close to Jupiter. And I highly recommend this, by the way. If you haven't taken a look, there is a critical conjuncture coming up here. And it is Jupiter and Uranus. It is a really defining things, you know. Yeah, Trish, thanks for the heads up on that. I also, this microphone is at best sometimes a little shoddy, which is why I moved off of it. And let me just make sure I'm still on. Yeah, it says I'm okay. I'm in the echo cancellation thing. Let's see if that'll help. But yeah, I'm just going to kind of sit here and doodle a little bit because a lot of readings. Had a lot of readings in the last like week, and I felt like I was packing it in, and then all of a sudden my schedule just changed. Had to change for a few reasons, and nothing bad. Just and I thought I'd be on an airplane right now, and I'm not. And I'm so prone. I'm just so prone to having all my time filled, and it really gave me pause. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean I can just sit here and chill? What do you mean I can just sit here and just, you know, just doodle here? It's probably super light because I'm playing it super light. I don't want to bury the microphone, but I don't know. Just thought I'd come on, let you know I'm still here. And I've actually been sitting and working on something new with music. I've had this project going. I've got 20,000 projects, which is Mars and Capricorn, 5th house, super creative, super go. It's so funny. I say, people are like sitting here going, "Oh, he's got a guitar. He doesn't have his cards." It went from like 25 people on to like 10, which is hysterical. Like, all right, which gives me kind of the whole thing about like, all right, so why are certain people in your life and certain people aren't? Spent a lot of time on this because I'm working on a book called Return on Energy, and I'm putting some really kind of like the bigger concepts are written. I'm plugging it away, but how do I make it like relevant? Right, you got to speak in the language of the people. How is somebody going to understand this? And sitting here like, hey, they got buddy stopping by, we'll say hi. Yeah, it's so funny. It's like music on YouTube won't register. If I stop playing this and I started shouting different tarot cards, the moon card, or started doing, whatever, then they'd be like, that's our jam. All right. Hey, Stacy. Hey, Brenda. How are you? Cindy, good to see you. Erica, thanks for joining us. Tracy, giving a lot of thought. Yeah, you are an avatar, Trish. And anyway, so I'm working on this book, and I'm working on this music project. And the music project, it's very Nordic. It is a very Nordic sounding thing. And I'm getting ready to like start piecing together some guitar stuff. And I want it to sound very medieval, for lack of better terms. So I'm playing around with the Dorian scale because that's more of a I'm a drummer. Anyways, but as I'm kind of going through it, I'm realizing and recognizing that, some of what I'm like playing around with is very kind of like almost like Gothic in a way. It's like, oh, do I want this to sound like this? Yeah. And it's very nicely. And it's one of those things where it's like, I can put together the basis of it and be somewhat satisfied with it and be happy to put something out. Or I can really do the coup de grace and just keep it in my back pocket until I can finish chorus and vocals and find people to do different voices and add my own and, all that other stuff. Because it would really require some like powerful singers to go over some of this stuff. I mean, it's Nordic, right? And the concept of the book kind of goes hand in hand with the, I'm not going to call it an opera, but it's kind of like, it's understanding how male and female energy have kind of been pitted against one another. And what's the reason? What's the cause? I mean, why don't we get along? And you can say, well, it's the intrinsic nature of Venus and the woman and Mars and the man. And when those two get together, there's always like a conflict and you move forward and that sort of thing. And maybe the purpose of men and women not really seeing eye to eye still doesn't make sense to me because they're perfectly happy people together. And by the way, male and female energy has no like sexual connotation to it. It's just everybody's got a job, everybody's got a role, and everybody's got energy. And you don't have to change your plumbing, by the way. I'm not trying to be political here, but plumbing change is up to you. You don't need to. You can still embrace the energy without changing the landscape. But this is the stuff I'm spending time and energy on. I mean, why is it all of a sudden that a large percentage, and I've looked for statistical data and it's all over the place. I'm really hard pressed to like put it into a book, let alone having an editor sign off on that. You're welcome, D. But understanding like how many people. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Pauline. Hey, Esther. How are you? Kelly, good to see you. Yeah, I'm not pulling cards tonight. I'm not feeling it. Sorry. But this is what I do when I'm sitting around. I've been giving advice to everybody under the sun and not giving it to myself. A lot of people don't know this, that I actually have a certification. It is near a degree, and it's not quite a degree because I didn't formally go and get the certification licensing for it, but I could have. It was just a test. And I decided not to do it, but one of my certifications is in spiritual counseling, like true spiritual counseling, working with people that are spiritually in conflict and helping them through it. And I've worked with a lot of priests and nuns and traditional, spiritual people. And by the way, people also ask me what's on in the background here, like what do I have in the background? And all of it has meaning to me. Places I've been, places I go, dragons, mugs, Vonnegut quotes and paintings, Bob Ross, seashells, Buddha. Oh, Esther, I'm glad to hear that I've given you the bestest cards ever. Hey, Melanie, how are you? Yeah, oh, very kind of you, Kelly. Yeah, we'll just sit here for a little bit. I got a message actually from YouTube early in the week that even though like when you do this work, like you're your own boss, right? You get to do whatever you want. Trust me, YouTube makes sure that they have some position of authority, and they were like, you're this many away from your 1 millionth view, and form a strategy today and consult one of our people. And my boss was trying to sell me something. And isn't that the exact life that like we all run away from? Like 100%. By the way, I am going to change all of this back here. I need to change. I need a different chair too. I'm like, I never thought I would find a rat race so ragged in spiritual work. And I've met some amazing people. And I know a lot of people reach out to me when I said, hey, goodbye. I'm saying goodbye to the old email address. It's going to be a transition. I'm getting rid of the email list. And by the way, I know that some of my closest enemies like to watch these afterwards. And I know that I got some of the list from a very kind of backdoor way, and it wasn't intentional. It just happened. I just, gave everybody an option when I realized that I had merged another medium that I worked with a decade ago, it feels like. And I know that they watch our stuff because you accidentally liked one of the things, so I know you're on there. Anyways, it's just funny. Can't ghost a medium, kid. But the conversation for me is about, like, how do you change? How do you evolve? Sandy's on. Looks like Pauline's like telling everybody. Oh, Debbie, so nice of you. Sending Reiki to Kelly. But like at night, nobody's around is what I do. Yeah, refresh the list. Hey, Diane, how are you? And I did. So go to tbrainrust.com, get on that. I'm actually going to be doing some slow release of some new meditations. I actually did one a little bit earlier. I'm feeling pretty chill. Even though things I could have been upset, and I'm not at all that things changed. I think it was just the way it was supposed to be. And it was really kind of important for me to, I think, have this time off. My foot's on the run. I'll be here all weekend. And I think if I just took a little bit more time. Was a little dust in the wind. You're welcome. No, it's more of the Pisces is more about, is my 7th house. My sun's in the 7th house. My Leo is rising, and it's anyways, enjoy your M&M. This is literally what I do sometimes when I kind of I can't hear you humming. Mom spaghetti, everybody. No, but it's maybe I should sit down and like put some tracks together and sing over them, and then I have this like crippling fear of sounding off or off key. It's the Simon Cowell in your ear syndrome. I think that's the reason why most people don't, because for years I'd be like, oh, that's really good. And we all became that, like, that music critic where it's like, oh, that's a little pitchy, or oh, that's feeling that way, or and then you go back to the other part of it where you go, oh my gosh, well, this is what I'm really good at. What I'm really good at? I'm really good at pulling these cards. I'm really good at sitting, having 20 to 100 people in a room and reading them. And I will never get sick of it. I've never, I don't think people really understand. In the past 5 years, I figured this out. I've done 89 public events in 5 years during COVID. I mean, that didn't stop me. I don't want to add to the conspiracy, but I was like, all right, if I'm going to get sick, I'm going to get sick. And I hope nobody gets sick. I didn't shame anybody that was like, oh, I'm going to wear 2 masks. Okay, all right. Well, your grandmother's here. Mm-hmm. This is me doing a reading during COVID. I have your grandmother here. Yes, she's showing me, is her middle name Lorraine? And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to assume that that's right for now. and I've just thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, give me more. Let me do more. Let me see this. And I started to recognize when you go from thinking like I can do this weird thing, to quote Groundhog Day, like, did you go pro with that whistling belly button trick? Like, this is a whistling belly button trick. Like, I went pro with it. I made a career out of it. I have an entire life to it. I guest speak at spiritualist and professional settings to talk about mediumship and spirit and I think to myself, like, okay, well, what makes me happy? That makes me happy. But I think it's like anything else. It's like even the happy bus, you can be on it for too long and you have to like take a second. And I hope you guys are following and seeing my daily videos. Like that's kind of a new kick for me. And I sit down and I'll write and I'll just pour things out and then I'll, get ready to hand them off and say, here, go make sense of it. And exactly, Kelly, 100%. Like, I am very fortunate to be able to do this work for a living and to be this good at it. And I'm not boasting. I'm just saying you don't do this for almost 15 years now because you're a hack. There's a lot of hacks in this business, and I'm not calling them out. I'm just saying sometimes you got to start it out and go, oh my gosh, I'm going to try this. And then you try this and it's like not for you, or you had to do mediumship to get to Reiki or healing touch or something. Sometimes that's just part of it, right? I'm still mad that somebody stole my bass, by the way. I was getting kind of good at it, right? I appreciate that. I'm glad, and I'm hearing a lot of people, talk about the shorts and give me feedback, and I get little, sometimes confessionals, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I haven't just gotten on and done this in forever. Thank you. I appreciate that, guys. What do I think of Joni Mitchell winning a Grammy? I think Joni Mitchell should win a Grammy every day of her goddamn life from here on out. I think that she is one of the most critically influential people in the history of the world, or at least in Americana. I think that she's authentic. I think she is the poster child of authenticity. And I think sometimes she would get caught up in things and say it, and then she never backed down, though. It always fit a brand of her authenticity. And by the way, what is authenticity aside from your brand? Being who you are, right? By the way, I want you to know that when I'm playing like this, I spend hours playing guitar. But then when it sounds like this, I want to remind you I'm a drummer. Yeah, you got to be who you are. Hey, Janet, how are you? Thank you. Yeah, Pauline, here's the thing about her. Here's the thing about Joni Mitchell. Let's see if I can get a... She does this weird seventh chord. Anyways, pay paradise. Good luck. She's authentic, and one of the most authentic things that she does isn't that she would take things on. It wasn't political. It was that she would just be who she is. And it's funny, if you look over my channel, I always do videos on people that I just think are cool. Which is why I stopped doing political stuff, because it's just like whatever. I still have a video coming forth about Trump's fleeing, and I think next week is when it's going to happen. That I need to release it because it's coming close. And everybody's like, oh, no, she's not going anywhere. What are you, nuts? As soon as they freeze assets, he's out of here. And it's in his charge. So I'm going to leave you guys with this one here. Thanks for joining me tonight. I wanted to get some log time on. Some of it's a little bit selfish, but I'll just play for a couple of minutes and get out of here. But I hope you guys enjoy this. I still have a CD out there somewhere, I think. I should check to see if it's been renewed. All right, here we go. I'm going to start over with this one. You guys ready? Actually, it's this. Yeah, the sound bowls will be fun. Oh yeah, Vero Beach. Actually, Trish will send you a message later. It's funny at Vero Beach. No, I'm not headed there, but I looked up an old friend of mine in Spirit that I've worked with a long time ago, and yeah, she's in Vero Beach now. Crazy. All right, guys, listen. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Good, having some chill. We'll do some cards some other time, but yeah, keep focused, guys. Keep going, and it's perfectly acceptable for you guys to feel the energy being weird right now, because it freaking is. And if people around you are weird, let them be weird. It had nothing to do with you. Don't take it personal. And when you're ready, you're ready. And by the way, I completely pulled this fucking look off. I'm sorry. Like, I look like a lumberjack. I let this go a little bit, right? And yeah, Keith, how are you? Oh my gosh, we should duo sometime. I would so love that. Yes, Pauline, always. Debbie, yes, for sure. Yeah, Keith, you know what? I'll send you a message. I will totally do that. I totally need this music stuff back together. We can do some old Memphis stuff. I cannot believe I went to Memphis that I didn't go to you. For some reason, I always thought you were in Nashville. I'm going to have to go back there, right? I know, right? If nobody's wired, is it me? It could be. It totally could be. Overcome crippling fear, everybody. I love that. I know, Keith, totally. I mean, I was so booked, though. I was booked back to back to back to back. It would have been like a, hey, what's going on? Photo op. But I think I'm going to come back and actually do some sit downs with some people and, really kind of map out my time differently. But I am coming back to Memphis, and we'll coordinate it, Keith. I'll do that. By the way, those of you that don't know, Keith, you should absolutely follow Keith's channel. He does a lot of conversation with creator. He really kind of demystifies God, and it's awesome. He's just got some great stuff. I was on, yes, weird, that too. Keith, listen, I went to the commissary. Don't take this the wrong way. You're part of the attraction. That BBQ is pretty spectacular. And my old friend Sheila down there, I'm sorry, my friend Sheila that I've known for some time, not my old friend Sheila, that came out wrong, who's an incredible medium herself, and she's just popping with her talent. And maybe I'm just supposed to visit. Maybe I'm not supposed to headline anything. Maybe I'm just supposed to show up on a Friday night when Keith has got a bar gig and sit in for a set. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do now. I don't know. I know. Yeah, totally, Keith. I will. And the other thing about this too is I've got to brush up on my Allman Brothers, right? Yeah, totally want to break into song right now. I'm gonna let you guys go. Thanks so much for tuning in. Keeping it fresh, doing it different as always, and yeah, once again, like you hit the January thing. You're like, this is what I'm doing this year, and then you get halfway through it, and you're like, what? Tell you what, though, tarot class starts in a couple of weeks. That is a for sure, right? Oh, and I got an online circle next week for the 20 or so people that are still on this. I have a message circle next Thursday. Go sign up. Is it Thursday? I think it's Thursday. Could be Friday. I don't remember. I'll see you guys soon. Hard taps, guys. Take care. See you soon.